All right. Now, there is some foundation that I want to talk, and people who have attended already know this, that if you have water, okay, you can easily pass through this water in a boat comfortably, okay? But inside the water are these rocks, and what these rocks are: poor scheduling, long transportation, quality issues, communication issues, supplier issues, workplace issues, absenteeism, line imbalance, long setup times. These are all rocks inside. But if you have this water, you can easily cross through, no issues, because all these rocks are inside. These rocks are not disturbing me. So this is called sea of waste. What is more important is we will always convert inventory. We'll talk about inventory reduction. And in the calculation of lead time, we will always convert inventory into number of days. A number of days, it's nothing but time. We'll convert inventory into time. If this is clear, please type clear in the comment box. Because that question should not come during that value stream mapping. In value stream mapping, we will always, for lead time, convert inventory into time. And then we will calculate the percentage of non-value adding time. The process cycle efficiency, we will calculate as value adding time divided by the total time. And the total time, how do we get? We get by converting inventory into times. Does it make sense? Type MS in the comment box, right? Now, this is a sea of waste. And what happens when you reduce the water? When you reduce the water, slowly you will start hitting the rock that is protruding out when you start reducing the water. Or in other terms, this water you can imagine as inventory. And when you start reducing the inventory, you will expose various problems, because the defect will translate into inventory. You will keep buffer over buffer over buffer over buffer. What is the first buffer we take? Forecasting. Let's start from forecasting. The only thing that is correct about forecasting is that it's always incorrect. This is not said by me. James Womack in his Lean Thinking book said the only thing that is correct about forecasting is that it's always wrong. How many of you agree with this? Now, because the forecast is unpredictable, to take care of the forecast, we keep a buffer. How many of you keep buffer because of forecasting? Suppose if order comes suddenly, what we do? Keep one buffer, excess inventory. Manjunath says me. How many of you? Okay, first forecasting buffer we keep. Second, it comes to sales department. Sales department will think that if I give exact forecasting to them, these people will supply less. So sales will keep on buffer and give it to you. How many of you agree with me? So sales will keep on buffer. Okay, that also you agree. Then sales people give it to the production planning department, and the planning department will say, if I give this plan to them, they anyway meet 80% of the plan. Let me give, instead of this, 20% more. Planning keeps one buffer. How many of you keep agree? Okay, I'm not saying everybody keeps a buffer. I'm just asking for your agreement. Okay, you will see buffer in some places. You may not see much buffer in some places. Okay, buffer, planning. Now production comes. Now production says, if I ask operator to produce so much, he will produce some this much percentage, 1%, 2% rejections. And so for rejection, he will say you produce little bit more. And so for rejection, you keep an extra buffer. Yes or no? So what it means is, any waste, any problems, scheduling problems, machine breakdown problems, quality problems, communication by planning department problems, supplier delivery problems, Absenteeism problems. For example, if the operator does not come, you produce extra and keep it. Setup time. Oh, to convert the from product A to product B, I lose so much time in setup. So again, if I'll have to produce this, then again I'll have to set up. Let me keep a buffer because of setup time. Do you agree with me? So everything, defect leads to excess production. Setup time, you keep a buffer. Sales, you keep a any inefficiency will indirectly translate or sometimes directly translate into inventory. So if you have excess inventory, that means excess inventory is hiding particular waste. By reducing that waste, slowly you expose the waste and solve that problem. The idea is not inventory reduction. The idea is to reduce the inventory to see which problem gets exposed first and solve that problem. Am I clear? The idea is not inventory reduction. The idea is slowly reduce inventory and see which fellow comes up first which inefficient fellow comes up first. The setup time fellow comes in first, or defect fellow comes in first, or planning fellow comes in first, and things like that. Okay, I'll go to the next. So raw material to finished good and inventory exposes waste. I walked through the factory and I just, it's not a person that is doing the work is ugly. It is the waste that is ugly. So don't attack people, attack that waste. Okay. Just because you keep asking people, why are you idle? Why these guys don't have any work? If you keep asking these type of questions, you know what they will do? I saw in one of the packing department, that guy was making, whenever I go there, he'll start making boxes. Because I come in white collared shirt and I come and walk in the, like an executive, I'll walk inside the factory and suddenly he'll start making boxes. I'm checking something else, he's making boxes. I asked him, why you make boxes? And I realized that whenever he was idle, the supervisor fired him. Why are you keeping quiet? And so he produces items. Okay. So don't attack people, attack the waste that is produced. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, some interesting discussions we'll have, 5 or 10 minutes, okay? All right, so illogical lean thinking. What can you make out from this picture? Okay, I'm just hiding my video just to make sure, we have a lot of participation. Okay, let's see. It is just anything that you feel you can type, okay? Can you relate this with lean thinking? Okay, so a golden egg money input to output. Okay, fine, let's see that. So raw material to finished goods, it is adding value. Okay, it is adding value. See, this is just to trigger some thinking process, okay? Don't take the literal meaning. I try to make it interesting, okay? Something you will find it really interesting, something maybe ordinary, don't worry about that. But I want to make this session a little bit interesting. So add value to the product continuously throughout the process. And what do you see from this picture? Anybody can participate. What do you see from this picture? Scorpions lay eggs and hens also lay eggs. What is the lean thinking that you learn from here? No batch quantity, excellent. That's what we want, right? Batch production versus single piece flow. Okay, let's see this. This is an easy one, right? Suppose there are clips like this intertwined, you try to push, what happens? Suppose if you pulls. So push versus pull. All right. Okay, let me see, this is an interesting one. Let's see what this is. What is the thinking that we can infer from here? Okay, that's great. Okay, go for idea, not for money. Excellent. Okay, money versus ideas. Okay, let's see this one. What's this? Okay, I hope you're enjoying this. Type if it is interesting, type interesting in the comment box, okay? Okay, this is like heavy equipment versus manual things. Okay, don't take literally everything. It's just, trigger some thinking process. Okay, all right. What's your observation of this? I like the small is beautiful example also, the comment also. So what's in this that you can infer? Not visible. Yeah, visible and easy to manage. Great. Let's go to the next. Okay, I tried to communicate something in this. Let's see if I'm able to communicate this. All right, heavy versus light. Okay, so don't build big ships with big guns. Think small and responsible. Okay, that's what small improvements. Excellent. Okay, thank you. I think I have communicated that. Does this require an explanation? What is this? Of course, if you're a poet, you can drink and get ideas, right? Don't relax. Just do it. Just to do it. Okay, that's what I wanted to communicate through this. Okay. Let's see how many of you answer this. Yeah, in if you read the book, Ed White, yeah, if you read the book Lean, Thinking from Dr. James Womack, he calls us managers who doesn't change as concrete heads. Okay, this is little bit difficult, but I wanted to communicate through this something. These are traditionally not given in books. Okay, this is just I keep thinking, and try to put some pictures and communicate certain things to make whole thing interesting. Avoid process of loading accessories. Think bare bones and whatever is basic thing you do. Basic infrastructure to really for that. For example, you have mobile phones. How many of you use all the features of mobile phones? Waste, right? So even for the machines, don't go for high tech, complicated machines which you don't use. Just think of the basic thing which can solve your purpose. That's the one I wanted to communicate here anyway. Okay. This one is very easy. I think this you could answer easily. Yeah, that's exactly dirty your hands. We don't want catalog engineers. Get your hands dirty. Superb. Go to Japan, you'll realize the value of this, right? Here we have the luxury of huge space. Suppose in your factory also, even if you have acres of land, okay, don't put machines all over. Put gardens all over, that's fine. All right. So luxury versus basic needs, okay. So no excess use of brainstorming, okay. Try-storming is important. What does this mean to you? I'll give you 10 seconds, right? Yeah, flexibility, that's a word that I'm looking for. More of relocatable, flexible layout, right? No deep-rooted machines. What is this? What is this guy doing? Is this clear? All right. This one is easy, right? Less efforts. Yeah, smart work. Superb. We all know what happens to dinosaurs, right? No one-way process. Bring back part to the operator. We'll talk about standardized work here. In standard work, we'll talk about this. Okay. And we know what happens to dinosaurs. If you have huge machines instead of simple small machines, they'll get extinct soon. So what lean is not about, it's not about adding resources to the process. It's not about working long hours. It's it's not about working harder. It's not about laying off people. It's not about short-lived improvements. It's not about rushing the process. Lean is not about this. How many of you like this picture? He's saying, what a wonderful life. Pull system. I saw this cartoon somewhere and immediately this struck me. And this guy is saying, shit, what shit I am in. Okay. If you like this, type like in the comment box. I'll just stop with this